World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
This is Kier Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Good afternoon. Hope all is well with everyone. I also hope that you had a good King birthday yesterday celebration. So glad it's a national holiday. As many of you know, the Harlem Tourism Board, in conjunction with my new company, Artwa Travel and Tours, have started developing relationships with African countries, Senegal and now Ghana. We had a successful project in Senegal in 2022, and now we're looking to go into Ghana. A lot of people still have an interest in seeing both Senegal and Ghana, but Ghana is one of the places that we want more African and Caribbean Americans to become aware of. There's so much to see. There are many things that will, I'm sure, encourage you to do more traveling and investing in Ghana once you understand what it has to offer. But the most important thing, it's time for us to start looking at returning home. I have the pleasure today to interview, and where he is in Ghana now, it's night. So I have to thank him for staying up late enough to do this show. It's a 5-hour difference. But Angelo Parker has been on the show before. We were talking about him becoming, taking on a new office. as director of the Northern Regional Ghana Tourism Agents Authority. And I promised that once he became the director, that we would have him back on. And being a man of my word, I would like for you to meet again for some, or for the first time for many, Mr. Angelo Parker, the director of the Northern Region Ghana Tourism Agency. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very good. And thank you for having me again on Urbanology.
Well, again, we have had conversations, and I think it's an important time what's happening in the world for African and Caribbean Americans to begin to understand that they have to start reconnecting with home, because at one point that may be where we survive. We have to make sure that we are like this. I think everybody is trying to get to Africa except for African and Caribbean Americans, the people who were brought here years ago. So that's why it's important for people like you to come on and talk a little bit about uh, why Ghana is such an important place for us to start to look at visiting. Could you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your new position? Relatively new. You've been there for a couple of, how, what, about a month now? You've been in this new position?
Weeks. Yeah. Thank you very much. And as you already introduced me, my name is Angelo Dugbe. I'm the new regional director for the Northern Regional Ghana Tourism Authority. The Northern region used to cover about 31% of the whole country, Ghana. But currently, there have been some new regions that have been capped, and the Northern region happened to be one of them that were capped. So there are two new regions that have been carved out of the northern region because it has been the biggest region in the country. In the northern region, the culture over there is very unique. Um, when we talk about slave trade, most often we focus down on the exit points, Cape Coast, Asin Mansu, I mean, where the ships docked and other things. But the root or the history goes beyond the exit point. It started from somewhere, and the region is so much endowed with slave heritage, the market, the architecture of the town, the resilience of the people, and a lot more that I think beyond coming to Ghana, coming to Accra, and other regions that have various endowed with various natural resources. The North is one place that we can take we can take advantage of and have collaboration, open up the region, investment purposes, tourism purposes, the culture, heritage, the slave routes, slave trade. So I believe once I am here now, there are a lot that I've seen and identified that we can do and do together. As Roger said, and home starts
Mhm.
here in Ghana, and Ghana it starts from the north. So we are ready to collaborate and see how best we can um, let our brothers and sisters from the diaspora come home and let's see what we can do. We have to walk the talk now, not just always talk. Thank you.
Well, I think that we are off to a good start, first of all, by having you. I know that I would like to thank the Taste of Africa and Tango for making the connection. I know that uh, that's how we started really getting involved with Ghana. But after meeting you, and we've had some Zoom conversations, And I've learned a lot. I still want you to send me more information, but I learned about the rocks that were like drums. I learned about the
Umbrella.
Ashante and the Adekara prints that are messages and the like. But we had Professor James Smalls on a couple of weeks ago, and he was in the northern region, and he's the one that really explained the slave trade, the trails, and where
Yeah,
people had to be they had to walk a long distance to get to those places. So there's
yeah.
a lot, whether it's uh, the raw minerals. I know that there's a lot of gold. I think Ghana is the fourth largest gold producing country in Africa.
No, in
But
Africa, Ghana is the second after South Africa.
wow,
Yeah,
so and so one of the things, and I know that COVID kind of cut a lot of the marketing track that had taken place in 2019 with the Coming Home program. But I do know that during that program, many African and Caribbean Americans were offered citizenship if they qualified. Are those programs still available for African Americans to do some sort of research to see if they qualify for that?
yes, those programs are still available. But during the year of return, 2019, that program was specially packaged. So during that period, you don't go through all the bureaucracy because we got a lot of African Americans connecting, working together with us, wanting to be part, wanting to be Ghanaians, wanting to invest over here. So once they have that edge, we need to encourage them. They want to be Ghanaian, they want to be part. The program still holds, even without this special program. Getting Ghanaian citizenship for Black Americans and other people is not too cumbersome if you really want to partake over here. So that program still holds. I would get additional information about the program and make it available to you so you can let the diaspora know about it and know how to take advantage of it. So I would
Definitely,
delve furthermore and then let you know
I think
about.
that is one of the real great marketing projects. Not only can you go home, but you can perhaps have dual citizenship. What
Yeah.
about property? If someone wants to have a house or things like
Oh,
that.
that is easy to have a property. It's one of the easiest that you can do. There are no restrictions. You can
Um,
easily acquire properties. But we
inter-
help you to go through acquiring of the properties. If you want to do it yourself, also fine. You don't have
well,
a
I
lot of
think it's
problem.
always good to have someone who is there
Yeah,
to lead the way. That would be part of. We would go to you to
yeah,
give us the right person in real estate that
yeah.
we should talk to. Matter of fact, I know we're looking about a fan trip. We'll probably look at having someone uh, from our end who is in real estate to have these conversations. So we probably want to meet someone there who could give advice and give an understanding of what it would take. But even if you're not a citizen, uh, you can still purchase property. Is that
Yes, yes. You can still. I'll find out additional information. I know about it's closer to a beach. A beach, one of the beaches in Pram Pram, very prime place that African Americans, actually, well-to-do African Americans, have purchased property with an estate developer who have developed a stretch, very beautiful stretch of properties that belongs to African Americans. They don't live here. They are not Ghanaians. So they
wow?
come, some of them on their retirement have come and then take a good relaxation over here. So let's see, when you come during the farm trip and we have time, we'll take a look, physically, you take a look at some of those places. And there are very good real estate developing agents or companies over here that can help. I mean, when it comes to that, we'll give you all the best or good links or lead you to if you see property acquiring or whatever you want to do. We are ready to help you do it.
What what are some of the, you had mentioned beach. A lot of people like to go on vacation. Of course, they like to be by water or by beaches. I know that that was one of the major attractions in Senegal. We don't hear that much about the beaches in Ghana. Can you give the listeners a little bit?
Oh, the beaches of Ghana is amazing. Stretches so many kilometers, and not just the beaches by the coast, but we have the biggest man-made lake, the Volta Lake
Hmm.
in Ghana. I hear China is now building the biggest. So if they are done, then that may be the biggest. But for now, as much as I know,
Hmm.
and that is a beautiful stretch. There are a lot of people have acquired properties over there by the beach, by the riverside.
Hmm.
There are boats, boating, yachting, a lot of sporting activities, resorts being developed over there, and it's in a serene and natural environment. You
Hmm.
love it, green and beautiful, unpolluted. Uh, our dam, Akosomo Dam, which is the biggest dam, is built on actually on that lake, and it's a beautiful to see. We have, when you go to the estuary, we have about 53 dotted islands, but developed islands actually. You love it, tourism facilities and other things. And uh, around the estuary, that is where, not closer, but in that town, that is where Steve Wonder has his property.
Yes, I know Stevie Wonder has a place there. A friend of his was the person when we talked last, Marvin Kelly, who uh, develops wonderful level work. He told me about that. What and I think this is something that everybody can look forward to is the food.
Oh,
What are some of the major dishes
the
in?
major dishes, the traditional dishes, we actually do local and continental. So when it comes to dishes and you're traveling down to Ghana and you feel like you don't want to do a local dish, you don't have a problem. We do continental, Chinese, and others. But the local dishes is interesting. You get even some of the white folks coming and trying the local dishes. The very popular ones we call fufu. Fufu is great to have fufu. It's soup, cassava, and plantain. Pounded cassava and plantain, and then you have your soup with any meat you want, either fish, goat. We have the soup. We have palm nut soup. We have granite soup. We have light soup or pepper soup, and it's excellent, tasty.
You're making me hungry now. So,
Oh, the cuisine is excellent. You would love it. You,
what are some of the other, especially in the northern region, what are some of the other investment opportunities that people might consider?
yes, the northern area is a great investment area. A lot of staffs are concentrated here in Accra, but when you go out of Accra, you get a lot of incentives. And the northern region, when it comes to agriculture, excellent, splendid, vast land, and there's a lot of rice that is being grown over there. A lot of rice. So now we got a lot of investors coming to put out their meal, and they are trying to mechanize some because we have the white Volta, we have the black Volta, we have River T, the Nasia River, all running through the north
Hmm.
into the Volta Lake. And Besides that, sorghum. Is it sorghum? No, soya.
Soy.
Soya grows very easily. Yes,
Mm.
very very. You don't need any fertilizer to grow soya over there. It's organic. It's natural.
Mm.
Okay. We also have shea butter. Shea butter is used in a lot of cosmetic. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Ghana is one of the places across the whole world. If you research, shea butter is not planted; it grows naturally in the wild.
Wow.
When you plant it over there,
It's
no,
nature's gift to health.
nature's gifts. Nature's gift. It'll amaze you. You would see the trees, you see how they harvest the shea butter, you see how they put it together as raw material. And all these, are raw materials that are here that needs, to be turned into something good or needs to be shaped up. So there are a lot of investment opportunities, even up here, up north here. Ghana is full of gold, as we spoke earlier. So up in the northern side also, they have gold, you know.
When we fly in, usually, and you have to help me with this, I believe that most of the airlines fly into Accra, which is the capital.
Yeah.
How far is it from Accra to get to where you are in the northern region? How do we do that?
In
What
the
type of
northern
transport?
region, yes, you can do that by air or by road. By air takes you just about 45 minutes to an hour.
Hmm.
Some of the aircrafts do 45 minutes, others do 1 hour, and you are in the north. But by road from Accra, it will take you about 10 hours, 10 hours drive to go to.
So, so if we start to develop packages,
Mm,
I guess we would have to make because 10 hours is a whole day. So I
mm,
guess in developing packages, we'll probably have to develop connecting flights
yeah.
coming into Accra and then Akura and then taking a flight to the northern region. That's
Yeah.
probably the
that
best
that
way.
make, that makes it easier. So
Right.
you come into Accra, 45 minutes, you are in the northern region, and the northern region is strategically located. So we are connected to one, two, three, about four regions.
Ah.
The northern region is the center. So
Mm.
most people are going to all other regions from Accra, would come into the northern region and drive up to the upper east, to northeast, to Savannah, and also to upper west. So surrounding the northern region are the other regions that are not too far that we can do by road. That is where we have the Molly National Park, the game reserve, where we have elephants, tigers. The lions are in deep into the forest, and we have a very good resort over there. We
Did you
have
say lions?
Yes, yes, lions, but that at the deep in there. If you want to have a safari to have a look at, but most often you see the elephants, the all the other species that are there, and it's a beautiful place, to go.
Mm.
We also have in the Savannah region Larabanga mosques, which there's a history behind the oldest mosques, in West Africa. They say. And then also there is the mystery stone. There's an interesting story about a mystery stone. That when a road was being constructed, anytime they tried to bulldoze that stone away from where it is, by the next day, the stone is back to where it
The
is.
stone is back.
It's back. So numerous times they try to construct, the stone is back. So they have to construct the road past the stone. And the stone have still been there till now.
How
Now
big is the stone?
the stone is not too big. That's the interesting thing. It's not too. It's bulky, but not too big. I mean, if you check it online, you see the Larabanga mosque in Ghana. Sorry, the mystery stone.
The
And
mystery stone.
the
Are
mystery
you
stone.
sure somebody just wasn't picking up the stone and putting it back?
No, no. This is that's a myth behind it. And it has been there all this was. Not far from the northern region, but it is maybe like 3 hours or 2 hours, we have the monkey sanctuary.
Hmm.
The monkey sanctuary is a whole um, sanctuary full of monkeys, and there are two species in that sanctuary. We
Hmm.
have the Mona monkeys and then the black and white Columbus.
Hmm.
The black and white Columbus are always up the tree. They are not friendly. They don't want to come closer.
They're
But for the Mona
smart.
monkey, oh yeah. But for the Mona monkeys, they are so close. If you are not careful, they can even snap your camera and take it away up the trees.
Okay.
The beauty is that they live with the community, so they come to homes of the communities.
Hmm.
So when you leave any food in there, they'll pick the food and
They
run
will
away with
get
it.
it. Yeah.
Now, the community reverence that sanctuary so much that when there's death of the monkey, it is given a ritual burial, like a human burial. They prepare a coffin and then they'll prepare some rice and then bury that monkey. And
Wow.
it has been so sacred. So nobody goes in to cut trees or whatever over there. Not far from the sanctuary, we have the Kintampo waterfalls. It's
Hmm.
beautiful falls, very high falls. And we have tried to develop some canopy rocks around the falls now, which is high up. And it's a beauty when you have a walk on the canopy and see the falls fall down. And
I
also
saw
there's
pictures
another
of that.
fall, yes,
That's
which is
that's.
also very beautiful, called the Fula Falls. It's not too tall, but it's a place for meditation.
Hmm.
It was discovered by one of the Roman priests. Actually, it's a foreign priest that came in there and then discovered that place. And it's a beauty when you see how the water flows, calm, beautiful, clean. So most people go there for religious tourism.
Hmm.
They go there to meditate. You know, the Catholic will say it's a place of sacred place, like a grotto. Go
Hmm.
and pray and meditate, yes, but it's also open, to the public. Up to the Upper East region, which also borders me just 2 hours. That region is like 2 hours from my place. Also, very beautiful place. We have a slave camp over there, and where they live, they have the stones and the relics because when they are captured, they are grouped over there, and then they wait for them to be shipped down through the trail all the way down to the shaft. And the shaft, that's where they have their last bath as a seaman so before going to the Cape Coast Castle. Now, when you look at the way the slaves were living over there, it's amazing. The stones, they grind on the stones, and it has the stones are there. They really grind on them, how they get their water, and that place is called Picoro Slave Camp.
Hmm.
It's also been developed. Up there we have a crocodile pond. We call it the Paga crocodile pond, and they are they are wild, but they live with the community.
The
You know,
crocodiles.
there's a crocodile, and they know the people in the community. So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're saying that the crocodiles know the people in the community? Did you say?
yes, yes, they live with the community people as one. So the community and the pond which they live, those in the community can just go into the pond, walk around, but they will not buy them or whatsoever.
What about someone who's not from the community?
No, someone is not from the community, you have to back off. Because when you go there, the guys in the community, what they do is that they talk to them. When you come, it's one of the places that you go. They call them from the pond or the river, the little river that they're in, and they come out. You hear them talking to them, calling them, and they will come. Then they talk to them, and because they are in their world, they can easily attack anybody. But they listen to the community people. And then you can take pictures with them. They'll become, you can go behind, do everything you want to do. And after that, you back off, and then they give it a chicken, a fowl.
Uh-huh.
So usually when they are talking controlling, because it's a fowl that he wants. You understand?
Right.
So after the fowl has been thrown, you see it grabs the fowl, and then after that you don't have to go near it, because when you go near it, no. So they just lie down or go back into the water. So when you are able to make it, is one of the places that will go. And also, there are rocks. You spoke about rocks, the umbrella rocks, but we have the whistling rocks. It's amazing. Formation of rocks all lined up, and immediately you hear the air blow. When the air blows, you hear this sound of whistling. Very interesting, as if it's real, as if somebody is whistling. And so we call it a whistling rock
Hmm.
in in Bolga Upper East. So those places are places that you would see for yourself,
Mhm.
so that when you are talking about it to your community back home, you can really talk about it because you have seen and feel it.
And I know the other thing, the Adinkra designs, the symbols that
Yeah,
um, have a great deal of meaning. Matter of
yeah,
fact, my friend who moved, who has Marvin Kelly, he designed a bag for me that had many of the symbols. They're very popular,
yeah,
but a lot of people are not aware that there's a tremendous history in Ghana with the developing those symbols
yeah,
in clothing and the like.
yeah. Actually, all the symbols have meanings. So you see our traditional kente cloth in the south, in the Shanti region, where we have the Ashanti kingdom. With
Hmm.
Ashanti king, the kingdom still exists. The kente is a rich cloth, and every sign and symbol means something. There's a meaning and explanation. And it's not everybody that can just wear any cloth, because there are
Mm.
some cloths that are meant for just for chiefs or sub chiefs. The others that are meant for the king. And uh, even here, you can't just stand up and then you are using the symbols, because I think it's been patented. But people
Hmm.
just use a symbol. Actually, if you use a symbol, you must seek permission or pay a little royalty or so per the law over here. So there's a whole rich history behind the symbols that we use. So we don't just use symbols. So the next time when you see the African cloth, take particular notice and see the symbol. You
Mm.
realize they have the different type of symbols that signify different types of things. Sometimes the mood, sometimes the occasion, sometimes the ceremony. It all goes with its meaning, you know.
Right. I know that actually, if you Google the symbols, Shante or some of the Decra
Yeah,
symbols, you can get meaning. Um, when when people come to Ghana, what type of accommodation, especially the northern region, what type of
yeah.
hotels do you
Oh,
have?
we have standard hotels. We have from the budget hotels, we have the home lodges, we have the one-star facility, and we have the two-star facility. And they are standard. We don't have four-star and five-star yet. There's one that is coming up, but it's not completed. It's trying to put up a four-star facility. And there's one recently that is trying to upgrade into a three-star facility that we did our assessment. But we have about almost 300 hotels in the northern region. 300
Mm.
hotels, and that's an area of investment. Why am I saying that? Because the northern region is the headquarters for the NGOs, the non-governmental organizations. A lot of the international non-governmental organizations try to help in developmental efforts.
Mm.
And the northern region has lagged a little when it comes to development compared to the south, because it's like everything is centered on the south. Everything is centered on the south. So most of the NGOs are right up in the north. And it will amaze you that the occupancy up in the north is is quite high than the occupancy right down in Accra.
Hmm.
Yes.
Why is that?
Occupancy goes up in Accra because of the events. Usually, where we do December in Ghana, like Year of Return, it was centered. Usually centered, most of them centered in the central region and then in the Greater Accra region. Yes, the reason for that is the occupancy rate. Is that a lot of the NGOs are headquarters over there. They do a lot of training programs, and a lot of government facilities are also there. And from the surrounding, they come in and do a lot of conferences over there. So always, every time when you're on the aircraft is full.
Hmm.
Every time you're on the aircraft is full.
Hmm.
So I remember the recently, when I was there, I was lodging in one of the good hotels facility, and they had a full house. The following week, I said, "Wow, you guys are doing great over here." So such people, I mean, need to be pushed, and we can have collaboration, we can have partnership, to still develop uh, the facility. But the service standard is quite important, actually, to me. It's not just about putting up the facility and that is it, but the service, the standards
Hmm.
must be kept. It doesn't matter whether it's the northern region or the southern region, the standards are the same, and you got to meet it for us to
Hmm.
license you, for us to inspect, and for us to make sure you keep the standards. So
Hmm.
hotel accommodation is not a problem at all. It's
Hmm.
adequate. Yes, it's adequate.
When did Ghana receive its independence? Do you have an independence
Yes,
celebration?
that's 6 March 1957.
Hmm.
Yes. And let me also add, just before I forget, the Tamale, there's a new airport that has been built in Tamale, and it's an international airport. So very soon, when it's commissioned, it's not commissioned yet, it's very new, we can have direct flights straight to Tamale instead of coming to Accra.
Hmm.
The Kumasi one is also being expanded so that we can have direct flight from wherever straight to Kumasi. So you don't have to come to Accra first before you connect to the north. So that is the good news
Hmm.
about the north to increase the capacity, of flights over there.
When do you think that might happen?
It's possible it might happen this year because the construction is done.
Hmm.
They are waiting to commission, but I think they are doing some finishing, fixing some things indoors. But for the external works done. But I'm sure because it's aviation and it's international, they will have to make sure everything is sorted out before they open it.
So maybe 2024?
No, it's 2024, yeah, latest. But it's very possible that they may open it in 2023.
Hmm.
Very possible, yeah.
Hmm.
Very possible. Because the runways are done, the structure is built, and all those things. So for the tourism authority, we would even be having an office or a desk over there to receive, arrivals,
Hmm.
anybody that needs information on the region and stuff. And then we advertise and display ourselves over there to see how best we can help travelers experience Tamale and experience North Good.
Well, again, I think even with this conversation and as we start writing and promoting more information, it will allow for one African and Caribbean Americans to know that they're welcome. Sometimes the colonizer tries to make it seem that you don't want to go to Africa because they don't want you there.
Yeah.
And they say the same to Africans. You don't want to go to America because they don't like you. But I
Mm,
think that based on programs like Soul City and many other programs, especially what you did in 2019,
yeah.
it allows for people to feel welcome. The diaspora is welcome
Yes.
to come. It's
Yes.
it's and one of the benefits of working with Ghana that became somewhat of a problem that you can overcome is the language.
Yeah.
In the French were the colonizers, in Senegal. So most people have that information. I see there was a question. How can we invest in Ghana? What's the process? Do we go through, are there special agencies, or how
Yes.
would you help someone who would be interested in investing or actually developing export import business, for instance?
Actually, we have one of the best investment laws in Ghana. You're allowed to even repatriate your profit, 100% profit, whatever you invested. And you are assisted. We have an agency, we have the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, where if you want to invest solely, 100% share ownership, you are allowed. If you want to invest with a Ghanaian partnership, you are allowed. And we have vast areas of investment. It's not limited. What is limited is retail trading.
Hmm.
But besides retail trading, you can go into real estate, you can go into infrastructure development, you can go into agriculture, you can go into mining. Even if a big mining you can go into, it's small scale mining that is limited to Ghanaians. But even that, when you mine, you can buy. Ghanaians can buy and then sell and send. You can invest in the small scale mining, and then uh, you export your goods.
What,
We
besides gold, what are some of the other natural minerals that one might mine in Ghana?
we have bauxite, and then we have what was developed recently. Is it there's this new uh, what is used in electronics right now?
Oh
I forgot.
yes, I know exactly what you're
Yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah,
It's a mineral that actually the Chinese are involved in Senegal with it. I can't think of the name of it yet, but there's a
yeah. It
mineral
just escaped
that's
me. Yeah.
very important
Yes.
in developing the chips for technology.
Yeah. So we have diamonds, but the major one is gold.
Yeah.
Major is gold, and then bauxite. Bauxite is major. Bauxite are used for
Mm.
ores, iron ores, and so huge deposit of bauxite that's you cannot mine. Trust me.
So people who are shopping, they can probably get some pretty good gold souvenirs.
Oh yes, oh yes, yes. If you want to go to Venice or you want to buy gold, there's even a government, private people do sell gold souvenirs. And if you want to even buy pieces or whatever, the government agency, the PMMC, the Precious Mineral Marketing, they even sell gold, so gold over there. So if you want gold, you don't have a problem. If people have invested in gold, a lot of investors, come to invest in gold and ship their gold dollars or the gold bars out weekly, and that gives a lot of revenue or forex revenue to the country.
Mm.
But the most important thing is that you'd always make sure you get the right connections, because when it comes to gold, we're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you get the right connections, and we do it good, and we do it legally, which is very important.
Yeah, not like the Ivory Coast. I know I was in the Ivory Coast with a project
Exactly.
once, and boy,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
And
talking to Mr. Angelo Parker, who is the director of uh, tourism in the Northern Region, director of the Northern Region Ghana Tourism Authority, and we've been talking about many of the things, and we've only scratched the surface of the
yeah,
things that music, for instance, a lot of people,
yeah,
a lot of the popular Afrobeat music has some, roots in Ghana. So we
yeah,
talked about food, investments, and we even talked about dual citizenship. So there are
yeah,
many interesting things, and now that we have the relationship with Mr. Parker, who really, because you don't always hear about the northern region. You hear about Accra, you hear about the Cape,
Yeah.
uh, but you don't always hear about the northern region, which I believe is in a way a good opportunity for people to come in
Yeah.
for many, whether it's investment, whether it's travel, whether it's doing some of the things that um, you know, there's not a lot of people that you have to compete with compared to some of the places that seem to be what everyone goes to as far as the capital and the like. So I'm sure that there are a lot of opportunities for those who are listening. And again, we will develop an actual trip uh, uh, in 2023 for maybe about 15 to 20 people to come
Yeah.
as part of the beginning of our tourism program. And I know that before that actual trip, we'll probably have somewhat of a fam trip so that we can learn more by seeing and being there. Some of the things that you've talked about, I'm sure it's important to actually see them. But I would like to thank you. And I see where does Parker come in? I see Angelo. Uh,
Yes. Yes. Angelo Dogbe is my name. Parker is it's also
yeah,
my name, but I most often don't write it officially.
yeah,
But a lot
you
of
use that for
it's,
the colonizer name to make people.
and Roger, I forgot to talk about something. There are great festivals up now, and there's one great festival called the Fire Festival.
The Fire Festival.
Fire Festival.
Hmm.
It's to amuse you seeing people during this festival walking through fire and playing and doing all sorts of things with fire, real fire. Oh yes.
When does that take place?
I would get the calendar, the right calendar. I don't want to put any information, wrong information, but
When
I'll
we
get the
have you
right.
on again, we'll talk about that. I know that a number of friends used to do motivational programs where they have people walk through fire. They, you know, and it's a mind thing. You know, you control your body and your mind. I I must confess I never really tried to do that myself, but I've seen it done and the like. But
Mm,
again, thank you so much. I know it's getting late your way, but thank you for sharing information about the northern region, where our our official trip that we do in 2023 will be at the northern region. We may do some traveling around, but we will definitely do that. And and I know that some of the unique places to visit. We'll talk more about that. You'll send me information and we'll write about it.
I
But
will.
we would like to, we don't want you to be a stranger. We would like to have you back if there are certain things that are happening, like the Independence Day and things
Yeah.
like that, that you might want people to know about. We'll talk about that. Which one of the things we didn't talk about is the media and how we connect
Yeah.
your media and the
Yeah.
your internet and all and your infrastructure with some of the things that we're doing here,
Yeah.
so that we can have some ongoing relationships there. But the important thing is that we do have a relationship. We will be going at least twice. That's the ideal plan. One is a fan trip, and one
Mhm.
is a regular trip where we
Yeah.
will start to market and invite individuals who are interested. Um, we'll have to, look at marketing and advertising budgets and all of that. But we would like to be that connection, at least one of them. There are many connections, but we would like to be the connection to the northern region to begin to allow for people to rediscover home and understand that they're more to Ghana than just Accra. You
Oh
know,
yes. Oh yes. There's more to Ghana than Accra. you know. And we'll
So,
be happy and willing to have that collaboration with you and open up, and whatever help and assistance that you need, we're going to give it to you, so far as I'm concerned. All those
well,
that matters will be brought on board to make things easier. And we're going to help facilitate, especially those who want to go into investments and identify areas where they want to come into. We'll not just leave you, we'll put a whole team and make sure we front or guide you to make sure you go through the process seamlessly without any hitches. So take
in-
that as an assurance from me. You know, if
investment
there's anything,
and as far as property and real estate, also we would.
yes,
That,
there's a big market here. Yeah. The whole skies of Accra is changing and the country is changing. Very good architecture. And you mentioned the media. We have a very vibrant media here, vibrant media, uncountable press, radio, internet, and we have very good internet infrastructure. You know,
mm,
we are one of the best in Africa. And when it comes to freedom of speech, democracy, yes, we are the beacon. You know, we can, you know, there's no military, there's no dictatorship, there's no, trying to restrain you,
mhm.
you know. So we are open, and we are part of the world. Yes. And don't forget, Ghana is the center of the world. Oh, yes.
Okay,
That is one thing we forget about.
I didn't
Yes.
realize that, but okay,
Yes.
that's good to know.
We're on the
I
green
will
list.
start to do some more writing. I'm gonna,
Mm.
do research, and I'm sure you'll send me information. We want to make sure in 2023 that people rediscover the many different things that are of interest in many areas, whether it's just travel, investment, or uh, real estate. Many of those things,
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we do a lot of that in 2023
Yeah.
to allow for people to become
Mhm.
aware that home uh, is a place that you can feel comfortable in, and I appreciate your invitation for us to collaborate to
Yeah.
make sure that we do that, Angelo.
Yeah.
So thank you
Thank you,
so much for your
Peter.
time, and I want to make sure. How do you pronounce? Is it Dog Bay?
Yes. Dogby.
Okay, Dog
Yes. Dogby. Yes.
Dog
Dogby.
B.
Dogby. Yes. Dogby.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get it. Uh, you know, I've been, the colonizer has done a very good job on us. So we 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 have to learn how to communicate to each other
Exactly. Go back to
individually.
our roots and
but
pronounce it right, you know. But
right,
that's fine. Yeah.
but we'll we will get it. I think the energy and the intent is sometimes more important than words. People can say nice things, but don't have that type of intent.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I know people have. I'm getting messages about April sounds good after April after taxes. So
Yeah. Okay.
it may be after April as that we might do this. So
No problem.
nevertheless,
Yeah.
we we
We are always ready to welcome you and facilitate your trip. So look at the convenience time. We'll talk, and then make sure it's convenient for a lot of people. Because I can see a lot of people are interested. They want to get on board. They are all
well,
welcome. So get everybody on board, and then we'll welcome you down here and see what we can do together.
well, thank you so much again for your time. We will continue to talk to each other. And I will continue to, once I receive information from you, to write about different things that will again whet the appetite for the desire to come to your northern region, and I'm sure that we'll work out a very good strategy for that will benefit everyone.
Yes. Yes.
So again, Angelo, thank you so much. And again, Soul City providing the vehicle. One of the great things about technology now is that
Yeah.
I'm here in Harlem
Yeah.
talking to the director of the Northern Region. in Ghana. So
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing. And
Really.
this will be on our web. You can go onto YouTube and to the HTB Harlem site, and you can continue to see this. So this is
Okay.
our first commercial together.
Exactly.
There'll be many more.
My pleasure being on.
Take care and thank you so much.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
again, thanks to Matt and the team for providing the platform for this. And as you can see, now Harlem, Senegal, and Ghana will be many of the areas that uh, I will serve as a consultant through Art What Travel and Tours on behalf of the Harlem Tourism Board and other organizations that might be interested in developing trips, fundraisings, and the like to whether it's Senegal to to Ghana. And as far as Harlem, uh, I think I had mentioned it. Harlem Renaissance, probably in April, late March, April, a 211 room hotel on 125th Street, which will provide for a lot more access for groups who are interested in coming to Harlem. And Art Tra- Artwork Travel and Tours, in conjunction with the Harlem Tourism Board, will have a role in allowing for people to have understanding of how to develop packages. We're already getting a lot of information about that. So stay tuned. We will, when the hotel is ready, we'll have Lewis and Murray, the general manager, come on and talk about some of the progress. Thanks again. This is Tony Rogers, your host for Urbanology, the Art of War, signing off. Hopefully, God willing, we'll see you at the same time next week. Thank you.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM,